Hi guys, Matt from Fanatics here. This week I managed to goober up my unboxing videos, so we're going to do tank picks only. We're going to start right here with this little fella. He's a cute little puffer. He's called a Shodentai puffer, or a Congo puffer, or a spotted Congo puffer. I call him all kind of things, but what he is really cute. He was first thing out of the box this week. Right next door we have green pike cichlid, or dwarf green pike cichlid. Got a nice batch of these guys. I really like this fish. It's not a particularly large and only mildly aggressive cichlid. Good for a bigger community tank. Cool fish that's actually pretty hard to come by. Next up we got some red top tapayos. Another batch of these guys came in this week. I think I've got 5 this time. Another fun earth eater. When they get big, they get a nice reddish stripe on their head. And the younger, they get the stripe pattern. Again, your earth eaters are good for your larger community / mildly aggressive tanks. They'll sip the sand, turn it over for you. Another batch of electric blue Acaras. These guys came in really nice, good size. You know, over 1.5 inches on these guys, and nice and fat, great looking fish. Still got those on the special. Next up, we've got another batch of Warus. Nice fat bellies on these guys and fun juvenile patterns on them. Actually, for their size, I was pretty impressed with how much pattern they have. Another one of my favorite cichlids. They're still on the 25% off special. Jump over here to these guys. These are Juraparis. They're a wild version. Wild enough they're jumping all over the tank while I'm trying to video them. There we go. See these guys back there. These wild Juraparis, they came in under a slightly different scientific name, so they may be a different locality of these guys, but they're the nice pointy version of a geo. They're Satanapora, which always makes me laugh because your quintessential geo is a Jurapari, but they switched their genus. We got in a weak sea biker, or the fathead biker. One of my favorite type of bikers, actually. They got a nice stripe in their face. This guy, mixed Oscars came in, great group, nice size. It's got to be pushing 3 inches on these guys. A nice albino, some tigers, got one red. Variety in the tigers. So if you're looking for a well-started Oscar, these guys are a good choice. Autos came in nice and fat this week. Got a great group of common autos. Same good price as always on these guys. These are a must for a planted tank. They're great at eating the algae off your plant leaves, right along with a mono shrimp to get rid of your hair algae. Brought in some yo-yo loaches. Realized I was out of these guys. Can't be out of yo-yo loaches. So the fish that knows their name, it says yo-yo right there on the side. When they get bigger, the pattern changes and the yo-yo goes away, but we still call them yo-yos even then. And remember, those guys get pretty big, so you're going to want those in a mildly to fairly aggressive tank of good size, and they like to be in a big group. These are blue paradise fish. For an inexpensive fish, they get pretty impressive. Sometimes a little bit hard to find the right spot for these guys. They've got enough fins to get picked on by semi-aggressive fish, but they're just a little bit pestery for a community tank. You got to make sure to find that in between, big enough tetras to run with, but not real picky fish to take the fins off. Just got in a new batch of locally bred longfin bushy nose. There's a gold there, small guys, and I also got some kind of a marbly brown. They'll all go for the $13 longfin price. Nice looking fish. We also have a batch of our own gold longfin gold longfin bushy nose coming up. Going to be new in the tank. We'll also have some new the baby gold, so we still got a big bunch of those guys. So lots of bushies to share. Also got these guys here. These are the longfin blue-eyed bushies, and they came in really big this time. Significantly bigger than they normally do. So any of you guys that have tried the little guys and thought, oh, those are awful tiny to get started, this is a much better deal, and the same price actually. They came in at that $16 mark. Zebra Daniels here came in nice and big and active and doing just exactly what they're supposed to do. Inexpensive schooling fish. These guys are still on the special. Reminder, all the specials that we put on for the moving that's been delayed a few weeks or months are still in effect. We'll continue to run specials all the way up to moving day. This guy here is an Apistogramma borelli. These guys came in pretty big. Just got a couple of them though. Big fan of dwarf cichlids in general. Borellis usually have a bit of a blue color. I also call those the umbrella cichlid. Cherry barbs are a great, inexpensive fish. These guys actually are pretty good at picking at blackbeard algae, which make them a good addition to a community tank. Of course, the boys get redder as they get more comfortable. That guy's got a little bit of pinky showing. Small fish stay under an inch or maybe just over. Do fine with any of your community fish, unlike most of your barbs that get kind of obnoxious. These guys are a good choice for just about any community tank. These are a royal blue neon dwarf gourami. Sometimes they come up with their own names for the different color patterns on these guys. These really are pretty darn stunning if I can get them to sit still long enough to see them. Dwarf gouramis are favorite around here. People pick them up because they're so bright colored. Do pretty well in a community tank usually. Every once in a while you get a guy who's pistery, but usually you can get away with them with just about any of your community fish. Alone, in pairs, or groups, as long as they got a little bit of space, they usually do well. That's a flame dwarf there. Same type of fish, different color. Real big guys on these guys too. Nice fat bellies. Bright red color to them. Another good choice for your community tank. Got in some really nice cories this week. These guys right here are Horseman's Cory, or Corydoras equus. Spendy, but super cool. Really like these guys. Got the nice blue around their eyes, the slate color, and then the blonde patch. Very cool Cory. And then in the same tank I put these guys in here too. These are the Cotomaculatus. I just love saying that name. Corydoras Cotomaculatus, or tail spot Cory. Somebody had asked me if we had any, and I actually took a batch of them home just a few weeks ago. So we didn't, so I got more. So if you're looking for some high-end Corys, got in some more. We already have several different varieties, but definitely big fan of nice Corys. We've got some inexpensive Corys too. We'll run into some of those in a bit. Got a batch of Australian rainbows in this week. These guys are the cheapest of the rainbows at just $3, and they're on the buy 4 or more and get 25% off special. These guys are super affordable. They're a bit more pistery than most of your rainbows. I keep using that word pistery. I think I made that up. They can be a little bit fin nippy, so make sure they're in the appropriate tank. They work well as dither fish for more aggressive fish, or in a semi-aggressive or larger community tank they'll do well too. As they get bigger, they get more impressive in color and size, though the Australians are maybe significantly less so than some of the other more fancy ones. Here we have Millennium rainbows. That's exactly what I was talking about as far as perhaps more impressive color-wise and size-wise. Nice wide shoulder on these guys. It's what we love about rainbows, is that wide spot there behind the gill plate. The red ones are the boys, and then the more gold-colored ones are the girls. Here we have emerald rainbows. There's somebody's colored up pretty good. They got that orangey color in the side and then the green on the top. Glossiopsis wanamensis, I believe, is their scientific. Perhaps my absolute favorite rainbow of all, though that's like saying which of my children do I love the most. Absolutely love rainbows, and I love that particular type of rainbow. This little fella here is called a Mies catfish. We got a small group of these guys in. They can run in a little school or by themselves. They're a nice in-between size and price on these catfish. I've had good luck in a mildly aggressive tank or in a fairly easygoing tank. They are catfish. Anything small enough to go in their mouth will go in their mouth, but they've got a pretty small mouth. They max out around 5-6 inches, something like that. So a super cool add to the right community of fish. For Stella tetras, I've not had these in a little while. Just weren't available on lists for some reason. I don't even know why. Super cool fish with a nice little yellow and white stripe on the top with a little black tip and then the pink tail. They're actually very easy tetra to keep. They tolerate more fluctuation than most fish do. They come from confluence waters in the Amazon, which means they'll tolerate temperature and chemistry changes better than most. Got a couple different fish in this tank. We got red-eye tetras came in. We'd sold out of those a while back. Again, all the tetras on the special, the buy 4 and get 25% off. The red-eye tetras are, of course, a part of that. And those Priscillas we just got done watching. Also got in a group of 2-spot or blue grammies. Don't carry these kind of grammies all that often, but somebody asked me to bring them in for them. They're relatively inexpensive. They get big though. 5-6 inches is an uncommon, and even bigger than that is possible. So make sure you have the right community for them. These Danios here are an unusual guy. I wasn't even really familiar with them until somebody asked me if I could get them. I looked them up and sure enough, there they were. And when I got them in, I was so impressed. If you can see, they've got this cool striping on their side that comes in when they settle into the tank. There, you got it. Remind me of the Armacrons or the Emerald Dwarf Rasboras. Only these guys got the pink coloring instead of green, and they're a bit bigger, maybe twice as big as those other guys. Super cool guys. In this tank we also got a batch of locally bred Cories. Some of them are really tiny, but most of them are a good size, ready to sell. These are the Panda Cories, and again, some of these are locally bred. Super cool. Always love it when we can get locally bred fish. In this tank I've got a couple different things going on. I've got some red wag swords. Came in kind of looking like Berlins. And then I've also got some half gold mollies. The gold mollies are locally bred and huge fat girls. In very good shape on these guys. I've been having trouble getting good mollies. This is not the case here. These guys look amazing. So good time to pick up some mollies. Here I got a couple things in too. I got these Rocket Clown Killies that are bigger than any I've ever seen in my life. They turned out really nice. A little more expensive than we paid for them sometimes in the past, but super nice males and a couple females in the group too. These guys are, you know, 1.5 inches on that big guy there, right there. That's an 1.5 inch guy. A couple others that size in this group. Super cool. Also got in Strawberry Rasboras. Let's see if I can find them here. There they are, right there. Strawberry Rasboras. Good group, though. It's hard to get all of them in the frame at once. These, of course, are in the Brara family. The Mosquito Rasboras, they don't get more than about a 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch on a really big one. Strawberries get a nice color to them. Pineapple Swords came in nice and fat. Look good. Nice mix of males and females. Restocked on Rummy Nose Tetras. Again, those are on the special. So are the live bears, by the way. The Rummy Nose Tetras are on the buy 4 and get 25% off. 4 or more, that is. Also got in some locally bred guppies. That's a dude right there, a black guppy. And got some females in that group too. And I got a different color variation of females. So we got some female guppies in finally. Nice locally bred dudes. Restocked on Neon Tetras. Got a big batch of nice big Neon Tetras still on the special. Brought in something I hardly ever have, some platies, and they look really good. So something that worried me on one of them, so we furoned them right away because I've had trouble with platies just dropping like flies if you look at them wrong. But actually the whole group came in looking amazing, nice and fat, and splaying nicely. They look really good. A couple batches of guppies up here. Got these red snake skins. Super cool fish, that guy. And then also got these neon blues, which came in nice as well. So nice group of guppies in here. And then some marble swords. You'll notice that we take no chances with our live bears. If they have any clamp fins or anything, we go ahead and hit them with a little bit of Furon when they first come in. That's part of that quarantine we do for these guys. These guys perked up just as soon as we treated them the first time. They'll be out of quarantine later today. Actually, we'll do a change on them, be ready to go tomorrow. Marble sword's kind of cool looking actually, and regular sword price on those guys. These are gold mollies, or they look like copper mollies or some mix therein. Nice leer tails on them, beautiful fish, looking great. So I was able to get some great live bears this week, which, as you've heard me lament, has been kind of a hard thing to do. Another Cory I absolutely adore. These are smudge spot Corys, or they'll call them violet Corys, or Cory similis. Got a decent price on these guys. I think we're going to go down about $1 on these guys from what we've been charging for them. Super cool fish. Got more guppies. These are another version of a snakeskin. These are green snakeskins this time. Greens and gold snakeskins are pretty similar, though. Like I said in the last video, the golds have a yellower body. The tails are pretty similar. These guys have a bluish greenish body. These threadfin rainbows came in slightly more expensive than we've paid in the past, but these are about the most rockin' threadfin rainbows I've ever seen in my life. Amazing fish. Back in the 80s, a pair of these used to go for like 40 bucks. Now we can say it's expensive to pay $7 for them, but look at that fish popping his top fin. Super cool fish. May have to make a tank just for these guys. Koi tuxedo guppies came in nice again this time. Got another 5 pairs. There's a boy there. Let's see if we can find a girl for you. There's girls back there. Also got Lima Tridents. There's a nice boy. On the special, I told you guys that I only had some females, so I went out and found some more so we could get you pairs if you wanted them. Probably more girls than boys, which is not a bad way to set up your live bears. Remember, all the live bears are on mixed groups, 4 or more for 25% off. Got another batch of cherry shrimp in to go with the locally bred ones we got last week. Between the two, we got some really nice critters. Look at that big berried lady there. Nice and big and bright red cherry shrimp to offer for you guys this week. Got yellow rice shrimp in. We'd run out of those guys, so we restocked on that and just about all the rest of our shrimp. There's bright blue shrimp we got in also. Nice color on these guys. So a small side-ish, 3/4 of an inch maybe, but very nice dark blue on these guys. A mono shrimp came in quite big actually for a $3 a mono. These guys have a really good size to them, and they're very diligently cleaning everything up in there. I snag these guys because they are super hungry and ready to clean out your tank. Got in green jade shrimp. Really hard to see the green jade shrimp against the shrimp sand. And the blue background and the green plants. So make sure you got your background set up to make these guys look great. They're actually a pretty amazing little shrimp. Orange shrimp. Nice size on them. A little variation between how bright orange and more yellow they are. Definitely orange, not yellow though. Also got a few of these powder blue shrimp left that we had on special from last week. Those are super cool. Went pretty quick. I'll see if I can't get more. But we still have maybe a dozen of those guys if you want to snag some. Got a big bunch of fiddler crabs. Nice variety in size. Some big ones and some really tiny ones. Good for pet or for food. Singapore shrimp came in decent this week also. They are working their way across. Also got some purple mysteries. There's a purple mystery right there. I got the yellow foot and the purple stripes on kind of a yellow background. That's what they mean when they say purple mystery, as opposed to these guys, which is your standard black-footed purple, or brown I usually call them, because they really look brown to me. Got in black diamond cories. These guys look pretty dang good. I'm a huge fan of black diamonds. Another one of those dwarf cories. They hover up and school around like tetras. Let's see if I can get video of these Gertrudes. These Gertrudes came in really big, just like the thread fins did. Look really nice. They didn't come in any more expensive really, but they sure are impressive size. I was really blown away just how big some of our dwarf rainbows came in. These aren't the dwarfs, they're like the pygmy style, only get about 2 inches. Amber tetras came in real nice, large for embers anyway. Of course, they don't get over about 1 inch max size, which make them great for a nano tank. Nice orangey red color to them, so they colored up nice real quick and look amazing. A big batch of emerald brooches, and these guys are huge. They got to be pushing 2 inches or even a little bit more on these guys. They came in, what are they, $7 or $8? I've seen them cheaper, but they're half this size, if that, when you get them that cheap. These guys are super impressive Cory. Well, they're actually a brooches. It depends on the year. Sometimes they recategorize them as a Cory. Got them in here with these amazing banjo cats. These are the whiptail banjos. They're not new this week. We've had these guys for 6-8 months. Big fatties, but I took the moment to show them off because they're so cool. Emerald brooches are a great add to larger community tank. Not aggressive, but they will put up with a little bigger fish because they're quite a big fish themselves. Maybe we can get a ghost knife to come out and play for us. Oh, he's up here in the plant. There he is. Ghost knives are such a cool fish. Remember, they get up to about 1 foot, so they're good in a larger community tank or even a semi-aggressive tank once they're established. When they're small like this guy, he's maybe 4 inches. They're well started at that size, but you don't want to put them in a semi-aggressive tank until he's a little bigger. They'll hide most of the time. You get a tube, in particular if you grab a clear tube, they'll hide in that and think that they're hidden because they emit electrical pulses to locate themselves and find food. And so a clear tube is the same thing as a opaque tube for them. Super cool fish. There, we got some light on this guy. Got a great group of bettas in, half moons, and we got a Dumbo. This guy is a dark blue and black. Super cool fish. White body, red fins, silver trim. Again, a super cool half moon. Classic red half moon. He thinks he's something special. I think he's right. And this Dumbo is yellow with a little bit of blue hints. Is super cool fish. Really cool. He's a full half moon. He's not a plakat. A lot of times they call him a half moon and they come in with no fins. But this guy is super cool. There's another silver body with red fins. Actually, he's more silver than the other guy was more white. This guy's super cool. He's down there plowing through the hydrocoral. It's a really neat betta. Actually, I really like this little setup. I've got the mats of hydrocodal in there. And the betta goes down and hangs out in it. It's so cool. Almost forgot to video this guy for you guys. He's a great big common pleco. When I say great big, he's probably in the 10-12 inch range. A little on the skinny side. We're fattening him up. He's good for your pond for next year or in your great big tank for algae patrol. Well, that's what we got new for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We sure enjoy bringing it to you. We're ramping up for another great season here at Fanatics. We're going to be in this location for at least the next month or so. I hate to guess how much time it would be, because as soon as I start guessing, you know it's going to make things go even longer. But for now, we're here and we're ramping up for an amazing season. If you haven't had a chance to try out a private tour yet, give it a shot. We're having a good time with those. It's great to have some of you guys be able to come back in here. I'd like to be away from the special rules, but that will come with the new space. For right now, schedule that private tour and we'll be rock and roll.